my goats. Notes, my goats. Notes, my goats. Welcome back, everybody.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Notes, my goats podcast. I'm Steve.
I'm Brandon.
What's going on, dude?
Not a whole lot, man. It is finally summer, I think.
It is finally summer.
At least, we pretend it is here in Michigan. It's like summer for a day, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And, and then right now we're dealing with like this not weird. It's terrible. The smoke and the fires up in Canada. And it's just a whole thing.
And the drought of ages that's been going on forever.
Yeah, the nice thing about the drought, though, is I don't have to mow my lawn.
Yeah, your grass isn't growing. It's very brown. I was actually at your house the other day, so.
It is very brown, but it is what it is.
It'll come back.
It'll come. I mean,
It's
literally
resilient.
one good rain. Like grass is weird like that. I don't know why we're talking about grass. It's weird. We're fathers and homeowners, and we're men. I don't know. That's dumb, but whatever.
Speak for yourself there, sir.
I know.
So no, it is, and I will say off the top, today is our second comedy night in Wayland. So if you are in the greater West Michigan area and you want to come out for free comedy nights, downtown Wayland is hosting comedy the last 3 Fridays in June. Happens to be. We're actually hosting those. So come out for a free comedy night in June here. You get some you can get some food downtown. Slinging Weenies will be slinging hot dogs. That is me and my wife's hot dog cart. We're down there doing some fun stuff. And
slinging your weenies.
Slinging weenies, exactly. It's an amazing time. But today, Brandon. It's a Friday.
It is a Friday.
It's comedy night.
It's comedy night. I will say the last time I did comedy though, Steve, the world shut down literally the next day. So people who come out to the show like should be warned. Like, I don't know if it was me. But there was also this thing called COVID.
For like 2.5 years. So this podcast for 2.5 years, and we haven't been shut down yet. So we've been pretty good there.
That's true. Maybe
and you're funny sometimes.
I try to be. I try.
So we got this going for us here.
I think we'll be all right.
So today, Brandon.
Yes.
Who are we talking to?
Guys, today we were talking to a returning guest. The first time this person was on the podcast, it was literally just I was following her on TikTok, and I was just like, she would be fun to have on the podcast because her and her then coworker at the time, now they're still like best friends, are like, I'm like, she seems like she would be fun. And I saw this one video of her freaking herself out over this band of brothers, and I'm said, hey, come on and talk about it. And she's like, okay. And I was like, well, shit, great. And then, time has passed. More or less. Time has then passed about 1.5 years at this point. I think the last one was like January of 2020.
January 21.
20 or 22. 21? 22. I don't know.
22. 22.
Yeah. So it's been a while. And
6 months, 16 months.
Yeah. And then Steve and I were talking, and we're like, hey, we should see if Morgan wants to come back on the podcast. But this time we'll let it be her choice of what album we want to do, because you know what? We don't want to pigeonhole her into being a Jonas Brother band, like talking person. So literally Steve and I talked about it one day. The next day I get a DM from none other than Morgan saying, hey, have you heard the new Jonas Brothers album? And I was like, funny you should ask. And
obviously,
obviously I've heard it. And I'm like, so you want to talk about? She's like, absolutely. I was like, all right, let's go. So guys, welcome back that was a long-winded introduction, but
I tell you,
it's fine. So guys, welcome back to the podcast. TikToker, and probably one of the coolest things to ever happen to the state of Ohio. I don't know. I mean,
you're not wrong.
I'm not really a fan of the Armpit of America, but that's just because I'm a Michigan State fan, so it's fine. Guys, welcome back to the podcast. Morgan Bellamy. Morgan, welcome back to the podcast. How are you?
Thank you. I'm great. Thanks for having me. My dad also calls it the Armpit of America, so
nice.
Not the first time I've heard it.
No.
That's hilarious. So, all right, Morgan, we've prefaced it already, but who are we talking about? What album are we talking about?
Yeah, so we're talking about the Jonas Brothers, the album.
Yeah.
The album.
It's like the Ohio State.
Album. Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
For sure.
I don't understand the album, but we'll get into that, I guess.
it would only be more bougie if there was an extra E in the the album. But
Or they spelled album with like an extra letter in there too.
L, but with like a little whoosh over the U.
Yeah, the whoosh over the U.
Yeah,
album. Give it the old panache.
Yeah,
I could see Nick doing that. Give the old panache there.
Yeah, is that his wife's name?
And then Kevin telling us it's not gonna happen. No, it's not.
Did you even hear my joke, Steve? Did you hear that joke? That was a good joke.
Yes, I did, and I tried to not, and you were like, no, I have to acknowledge that joke. That was a good one. Well, the world's gonna shut down now. So, Jonas Brothers, the album. I have some backstory, and we did this back a little while ago, so I only got a little bit on them. I did go into some fun stuff while they were in hiatus, like what they did. I just thought that was pretty interesting. So it's an American pop rock band, active from 2005 to 2013. Took a bit of a break, came back in 2019, like they never left, and been going ever since. Since presently. They are three brothers. It's Joe, Nick, and Kevin. I promise I won't make fun of Kevin too much today. It's the poor Kevin. Now, their big start came from working on the Disney Channel, as we have all hopefully seen them somewhere on the Mouse House at some point in their existence. They were nominated for
look me in the anyway.
Yes, exactly. They've been nominated for over 160 awards, and they've won 92. So they're at like a 56% in like awards that they've been nominated for. So they've got a better than 50-50 shot to win something if they're nominated. They have 2 Grammy nominations total, but they haven't won anything yet. They did get nominated for the Best New Artist in 2008, but they lost to Adele, of all people.
I mean, of all people to lose to. You lose to Adele? Come on.
You have to. It was a close one, I think. Lady A was also nominated at the time too. So it was like,
okay.
But these guys couldn't get like some like funk jazz like blues artist in the background, and like they just steamroll it like
right.
Olivia did last year, like
Olivia Rodrigo. Yeah.
Where like everybody knew, like when her first album came out, like Best New Artist, and it came out in January. They're like, yep. That she's gonna win the Grammy in about a year.
Yeah.
Everybody knew, just was thinking, and these guys were like, yeah, we got a good shot. And then they heard Adele, and they're like,
have a good shot at going home. Like that.
They had the like, thank you for nominating us. Like we got to go to the Grammys, but that's pretty much it. So
participation trophy.
100%. I would take one if I'm going up against Adele. I'm like, no, sorry, sorry. It's like going. It's trying to win a Grammy against Beyonce. It doesn't happen very often that you win and she doesn't. So they did get lots of love stemming from their album that preceded this one we talked about back in January of 22, Happiness Begins. The track Sucker was picked up so many nominations and wins by these artists. They got tons of awards for that track alone. Happiness Begins did get them a lot of like best group and best duo awards from 2020 to 2022. They won, of their 92 wins, they won like 30 awards from Happiness Begins from different publications. Now they also did get their Hollywood star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame in 2023, January of 2023. They got on the Hollywood Walk of Fame before Carrie Fisher.
Oh wow.
Yeah. That's a travesty. I am happy they got in the Hall of Fame. They are on the Walk of Fame there, but Princess Leia should have been on there well before this. I'm just saying that right now.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna give these guys their flowers, and they get all of their kudos, but shame on whoever left Princess Leia off the Walk of Fame forever. 6 albums, 3 #1 albums, 5 in the top 5. So 5 of their 6 were top 5. 3 live albums and 30 singles. I did write members during hiatus, what they did during their time away from each other from 2013 to 2019, which they actually weren't really away from each other. They just didn't sing together. They like did stuff together a lot though. Kevin did reality TV on the E Network. Was married to Jonas. He talked about his relationship to his wife, that the hairdresser we talked about. About 18 months ago. And the on the reality show, both Nick and Joe ended up on there quite frequently as well. They just kind of popped in and popped out. He also started a contracting company because he's the adult of the group. Yeah, he's
I
a
did not know
contractor.
that.
He does like architecture and contracting work like in New Jersey.
You know,
Oh.
I can see that. He's starting to look more manly out
He's
of the
like
three.
he's like the Property Brothers, man. He's like he needs to wear sort of flannels and shit, and like he's going after it.
Right.
But he is the adult of the three of them, I think, is what's going on here. So he's just like, guys, I gotta do something, and he started to build houses and stuff. So why not?
Good for him.
Now Joe, he started the band DNCE Dance. He joined the Australian version of The Voice as a coach, and also wrote a song and played the Kraken in Hotel Transylvania 3. Yeah, did you know that?
Oh.
He was
I
the
did
voice of
not.
the
I did
Kraken
not
in
know
Hotel
that.
Transylvania 3, but he was also did a song for the movie too. Now, of all
Interesting.
three of them, Nick killed it. This was Nick's time to shine during that 6 years. I did not know this part though. So he released a couple of solo albums. I think he had 2 or 3 during this time frame. Appeared on several TV shows. He was in Jumanji. He got nominated for a Golden Globe for a song in Ferdinand.
Oh.
He also worked as the artistic director on Demi Lovato's tour.
Oh.
He was
I didn't know
in
that.
2013, he was the artistic director of her tour. So he basically was how that tour was going to happen. He toured with her and like stage show and everything. That was all Nick Jonas. I was like, well, shit. I mean, they all got married too, at some way, shape, or form in there too. Nick was later on after 2019. I'm pretty sure Joe got married before then, though. Right around then,
I feel like it was really close together.
he got married to Sansa,
Yes.
from Game of Thrones. So he
Yes.
married her, but it was right around 2018, 2019, before the pandemic. And then Nick married Priyanka, again, within the last couple of years.
3
And they've
times.
been-
They had 3 weddings.
And they've been rumored to be divorced like 14 times now too.
Oh.
But they're not. I mean, they're obviously not. But a lot of crap came from her because she took the Jonas part of her last name away on her
I
like her
didn't know
social
that
media.
either.
Oh.
Yeah, she started just going by her first name. And when she did that, everybody was just like, "Oh my gosh, they're getting divorced." And Nick's like, "That's news to me. I didn't know." And
Yeah.
she had to come out, like their publicist had to come out and say, "No, we're not getting divorced," because we had nothing else better to do.
Right.
So now we're gonna talk about Spotify here and get some numbers to these guys. They're killing it right now. But how many total Spotify listeners do you think they're averaging monthly right now?
Monthly?
Monthly.
Oh man.
It's a lot.
I'm just gonna throw a number out there because I don't even know what to compare it to. I'm just gonna say 1 million.
Okay.
I'm gonna go 50 million.
Okay.
Really?
It's in the middle between the two of you, so we're good there. 24 mil.
Oh my gosh.
23.96 million.
Okay.
22 million of that is me.
It's just you. Yeah. And I probably got a couple thousand in there. I've been listening to this album a lot lately.
Yeah.
So now we're talking about the record. It's again,
Yeah.
the record.
The album.
The album. I put the record. It is the album. It should put the record. What the hell? It is the album. I wrote the record for some reason. This is what it is. I thought it was funny.
It is funny.
Now it's more funny that I screwed that up. Released May 12th of 2023. So as of recording, it's only been out for about 5 weeks.
Yep.
It was their 6th studio album. It's 12 songs, 33 minutes long. The production of the album actually started in 2020 and has been rumored to be in flux for multiple years. So Happiness Begins was in 2019. And they basically started recording this one shortly after. On January 13th of 2023, Nick confirmed the album was done on the Kelly Clarkson show. So he went on Kelly Clarkson and said, "Hey, we're done. It's going to come out eventually." The album was inspired by 70s pop and Americana, was heavily influenced by the Bee Gees, the band America, and the Doobie Brothers, of all things.
I can see all of that.
Yes, very, very, very 70s here. Album was actually originally going to debut on May 5th, but they had to delay it a week. Didn't get a reason why, but they had to push it back a week. I don't know if another album came out on the 5th, and they just said, we're not going to go up against that one, like they do movies sometimes. But yeah, it got pushed back, and it was like late in the game. They announced it in April. Like less than a month out. They're like, nah, we got to go another week. Maybe it was a delay with pressing or something. It did delay a debut at number 3 on Billboard, selling 52,000 equivalent units its first week. Now, of those 52,000 units, 35,500 were physical albums sold. Morgan brought about 500 of those. She's got a box from the back.
They have a limit of 4.
Oh, you got burner accounts. You're like going the whole Ticketmaster, Spotify. You're like, oh, I got you. So,
if it matters, Ed Sheeran's album Subtract came out on the 5th.
That could be why. Maybe that's why they pushed it back.
I counted. That's and then I'm looking at what came out on the 12th. It was the 12th, right?
Yep, the 12th, the next week.
There's really nobody there.
I bet you that's what it was. They didn't want to go up against Ed. I don't blame them.
The only other one that really would stand out to me is Daft Punk came out with an album, but that's it.
Not in their
wheelhouse. No,
not in their wheelhouse. They didn't want to go up against Ed. I don't blame them. I wouldn't want to go against Ed either.
Yep.
It doesn't matter though, because they still debuted at number 3. And they would have hit number 1 except for Morgan Wallen. He's not letting number 1 go anytime soon.
No.
As much as we would disdain that and would love that to happen, him to just fade in existence and not be there anymore. But a lot of albums that should have been up there in the top spot, like Ed Sheeran's album, which is also very, very good. Foo Fighters album, which is amazing. This one is very, very good. An album we just talked about, or we're going to talk about next week, is very, very good. Then none of them,
all of which got snubbed from the number 1 because Morgan
Wallen's been number 1 since he started. It's like as of recording, it's probably close to 14, 15 weeks now. Number 1.
The country and the long hair. That's what it is.
And it's 30 some tracks long.
Right.
So
it's funny, there was a track on that album that was on the radio and my whole family was singing and I was like, what are you singing?
We are not a Morgan Wallen family.
Stop singing Morgan Wallen.
We are a Matt Rife family. We are a Matt Rife family.
We're a Matt Rife family.
I tried.
Yeah.
I got tickets.
Oh my gosh. Good for you.
He's doing a second show in Grand Rapids and they're coming out tomorrow. His pre-show, it's sold out in like 12 minutes.
Yeah.
So he's doing a second show in GR. I tried to get tickets to the Cincinnati show. And I couldn't get them there either. They were gone. I had like multiple windows open. Where are you seeing them at? Louisville? On
New Year's Eve.
Ooh, that might be fun. I tried Grand Rapids and then Detroit, Cincinnati, and Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
And I couldn't get any of them. They all went so fast. Like Ticketmaster like basically died. Taylor Swifted. For a comedian.
The fact that I got Taylor Swift and Matt Rife tickets blows my mind.
Lottery time.
Yeah. Look at you. Time to sell us on the black market.
Yeah.
She's like, no, I'm going to go to those shows.
Yeah, I'm going.
Go. So now I will say they hit number 3, but the album's tracks did achieve a total of 20.5 million streams collectively its first week.
Wow.
So the song, each track totaled up 20.5 million streams. They have 2 singles, Wings, which came out way before the album came out, and then Waffle House, which is everywhere right now.
Everywhere.
It's all over the place. So that's kind of my stuff here. I didn't go on a whole lot of stuff, but I thought that time when they were on hiatus was kind of fun.
Yeah.
This is there. So Brandon, let's start with you. What was your favorite track?
I picked Little Bird as my favorite track.
That one made me cry.
Yeah, as a dad to 3 daughters, how could this song not get picked by me at some point during this talk tonight?
Yep.
I'm always a sucker for tracks like this because even though my kids are 6, almost 4, and a year and a half, the days are long, but the years are short. And the next thing I know is they're going to try to fly on their own. And I just want to continue to pray every single day that even though I make mistakes as a dad, my biggest goal is to show my kids what a real man looks like. I want to set the bar so that they know when they bring a guy home, it's going to mean something because they've seen it in me. And are seeing it in their significant other. So, that one definitely made me tear up, and I'm a sucker for those. So, Little Bird. What, Steve?
You'll be very happy with me.
Okay.
I didn't interrupt you.
You didn't interrupt me.
Because you said, I wanted to show my kids what real man looks like. And I said, you didn't show a picture of Matt Rife?
Well, I mean, people probably do, or he probably does like to be called daddy, but it's different. So
yes, 100% different.
Yeah.
But I was like, I took a drink and I bit my lip. I did not.
Because I was getting in the feels a little,
in
Steve.
the feels, and I didn't want to break the feels.
Yeah. I also was looking at my notes and didn't have Zoom up, so I couldn't look at your face. So
I was trying not to be like myself generally, and not do that.
Right.
We talked about the drink I'm drinking right now, so we're good.
I know. Yeah. I mean, you're Morgan Wallen in it over there.
You're not wrong.
Yeah. Anyway.
You're
all right.
not wrong.
Morgan, what about you? What was your favorite track on this album, or one of your favorite tracks?
I have two that were like my favorite, but my favorite is probably Summer Baby. I just love it. It's catchy and it's fun. I like the first line. For some reason, I feel like the first line is sexy, and I don't know why. I feel like that's a weird thing to say, but I don't know. Yeah. I love that song. I really like Montana Sky too.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
Steve, what about you, bud?
I went Chalk, and I went with Waffle House.
Yeah. All right.
Okay. You know what? Both of you, don't start with me. This track is fun. It's upbeat, and those gang vocals are amazing. When they actually get going together and they can like after it, it is very surface level. But I do like that they are trying to rebrand the Waffle House, because the Waffle House that I know is where you go get cheap, greasy, glorious food and watch locals fight it out in the parking lot. This Jonas Brothers Waffle House sounds like a place where you want to actually hang out.
Yeah.
It sounds nice and clean.
Have either of you gone to Waffle House since the song's been out?
No.
So I
was gonna say we don't have a Waffle House in Michigan.
There's one.
Oh yeah, I guess it's more of a southern thing. Yeah. Well, listen, I've gone and they play the song every hour on the hour.
That's why you keep going, right?
Well, when I went in there right after the song came out, it came on and I was like, ooh, like, yay. And then like all the employees were like so irritated. They were so over it. They're like, I'm so sick of this song. I think they hate it a lot, but it's fun.
Like Mariah
at
Christmas.
Yeah.
It's like Mariah at Christmas.
Yeah.
All the retail employees are like, God, no more Mariah.
Yeah.
Like I love the fact that Waffle House is like using the Jonas Brothers to like change their image. Like, we're not fighting the parking lot anymore, guys. We're having meaningful conversations. Waffle House. So I liked the track. I thought it was fun. I went Chalk. I don't care.
All right. Steve, like you always say, more on that later.
Yes.
More on that track later.
Can't wait. Oh, it's not any worse than my least favorite. I got you on that one already.
We'll see. I didn't say it was my least favorite.
Oh, well,
I didn't say it was my deep.
Whenever I say more on that later, it's always my least favorite.
Right. So, all right, Steve, it is time for our first game. I don't have a good name for it. A funny
Waffle House Wang?
The Waffle Wang? Oh, that's weird. Okay. All right, guys, time for the word association name game.
Let's go.
Let's play Wang. Let's play Wang. Word association name game.
Oh yeah. So you got the track list pulled up, right, Morgan?
I do.
Okay.
All right, guys. So if you are new to the Notes and Goats podcast, this is the word association name game. And if you take the letters of word association name game, you get Wang. And that's what we're playing right now. This game, I have taken 2 tracks from this album. I have either created some sort of random clue, either word associated, phrase associated, or something that just ties in an actual track title from this album. And Morgan and Steve need to try to guess what track I am talking about based on my ridiculous clue. So, guys, here is your first one.
Are we just yelling it out?
You just yell it out.
Got it. Okay.
Midwest in the winter.
Montana Sky.
No.
Vacation Eyes?
No.
Summer in the Hamptons?
Yes. Summer in the Hamptons. Absolutely. Yeah. So, all right. Nice work, Morgan. Steve, you're losing. Here's the next one.
Try.
We don't keep score, but it's fine. Here's the next one. It's the same there as it is here.
Montana Sky.
Americana.
Steve, Montana Sky. Yep.
It's not though. I've been there.
I mean, yeah, I know.
It's a lot cooler.
I'm sure it is. There's nothing there, so it's just probably wide open skies. You can see the stars. I'm sure it's great.
It's fantastic. There's no cell service though. I found that out.
No, we tried to do a podcast with you in Montana, and it sucked.
Yeah, there was a lot of bleeping in and out, and I was probably good because I was swearing because I had just.
You were swearing a lot, and it was either and your camping neighbors thought you were yelling at them when in reality you were just yelling at the terrible Verizon cell service that you had. This episode not sponsored by Verizon, clearly. But
not yet.
Not yet.
We're a Sprint family.
Yeah, for sure.
So no, you're right.
All right, guys. Let's get into our least favorite tracks. Now, Morgan, because this was the album that you wanted to talk about, we're gonna start with you. Did you have a least favorite track on this album?
I love this album. But if I had to pick one, it'd probably be Summer in the Hamptons. Just wasn't feeling it. I don't know. I felt like it was kind of repetitive. I mean, it's not a bad song, but it's not my favorite.
Okay. Steve, I'm guessing that is your least favorite as well?
Oh, it is, and it's a bad song.
Okay.
The track it's lazy. It's so lazy, and it is super repetitive. That modulated female voice is in the background, though. It's odd. I don't know what that is. But this song is like all filler and no substance. Plus, the line. I'm gonna try to say this with a straight face. I'm deep inside your sand, a new kind of warmness. Really? What the hell? You were a Disney Channel star. Sex on the Beach is also pretty bad. The drink is probably okay, but relating the area of your significant other to sand is not a metaphor I would use.
No.
And these boys are all married. They did not ask their wives if this is okay. This is something. This screams Nick right here. Nick was like, you know what, guys? I got it. I'm gonna do it all sultry and get it. Nobody will know. And then you like look at the lyrics and you're like, what the hell? Like Kevin, he did not ask Kevin because Kevin would have dadded his ass out of this one. Nope, you're not doing it, Nick. It's not happening. Right. We're not singing that. Right. The first time they sang it live, Kevin's just like, the hell did you just say? And it was already on wax. And Nick just gave the smile and walked away. And like, no, God.
Right.
We're not on Disney Channel no more.
Oh my gosh.
So Summer in the Hamptons is terrible.
All right. I can't. That's so funny.
I told you.
Yeah.
Brandon, what was your least favorite?
I mean,
do it. I dare you. Tell me your least favorite is worse than that line.
It's not worse than that line. But what you the area in which you're talking about,
sand in that area?
Well, just the area. I picked Wings as my
okay.
I did. I picked Wings. I don't know how that relates to your sand in the crotch, but it is what it is.
It's the warmness.
It's the warmness. You know,
do not
the only quote in my head that I can think of is get the ones with wings. That's all how I related to it. Anyway, that's so stupid. It's very boyish of me and very teenage stupid. Anyway, this track is get Wings. All right. It's catchy and upbeat.
Track here.
It's catchy and upbeat. However, I had to be a tad nitpicky. These guys' normal vocal register is already on the higher end of the tenor range. I felt that this track, it got bumped up a little bit more for some reason. And it just was even higher than normal. And I just wasn't a fan of it. At the end of the day, it's a relatively short track, not awful. But for me, I found myself skipping this one more often than not. It's very simple. That was pretty much it. But yeah, that was it. All right, Steve. It's time for game number 2.
It is time for Shatner's Poetry Slam. Let's get going, guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, this Shatner's poetry.
Break. All right. All right, let's see if I can get this done. I did pick. Okay, guys, so I picked two.
Okay.
This first one, I'm going to have to start the second line because it gives it away pretty quickly. And I'm guessing Morgan's going to get these quick. So,
yeah, I
So-
have zero.
so
chance.
what I'm doing here is I'm reading the lyrics off. I'm not sure if we played this game with you yet. I'm reading the lyrics off in a monotone, not
Oh.
singing them any sort of way, and you have to tell me what song I'm telling you.
Got
And I might change the tone up a little bit and kind of go high and low, kind of like William Shatner from Star Trek.
Got you.
So
Yeah.
we picked two songs just like we do with the Wayne game. So first one here. Type of friends that show their love by picking on you. On the phone or on the lawn or on the corner.
Americana.
It is.
Would have never
Yeah,
gotten.
second line of the first verse.
Yeah.
I had to start there, and she had it within two lines.
Yep.
This one's got some pretty fun lyrics, but all right, my next one. Here we go. When it's just me and you and the moon, and I got a little duchy in my left hand. I can't believe all the things we've been through, but oh, it's a holiday. Long as you rock with me, I don't need, no. I don't need my feet in the sand, because when your body's up in my hands,
Summer in the
get-
Hamptons.
no, it's not that one. Holy crap, this
It's
is
not?
bad though.
Oh no.
I get song title. When you're looking summertime fine, through all this rain.
Vacation Eyes.
It is Vacation Eyes.
Mm.
This is another song that Nick wrote. I guarantee it.
I mean, track
Poor
list.
Nick.
It's right before Summer in the Hamptons. So I mean, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what they got going on here, but
I don't know either. Nick's got something with sand.
He had a
He's a
funky
big-
vacation.
Yeah.
or he had a really good vacation and he was like, I'm telling everybody about this
I don't
vacation.
know. I don't think sand in that area is very pleasant.
Priyanka's just like, God, no, don't tell me about this vacation. What are you
Right.
doing? Oh,
Right.
I don't know. So
Boy.
I'm gonna go with my deep cut because it was the same as Morgan's favorite track. I picked Summer
Okay.
Baby. It is the very next track from Hamptons that actually reminds me of what the Jonas Brothers are really good at. Like, Summer Baby the music is light. It's just complex enough to keep you interested in moving. The dynamic between the guys is top notch, and this song is fun. It has that summer jam that we all kind of love and written, like, all over it. Like, it could go there. It reminded me of a lot of what Harry's House was last summer. This was like the Harry Styles track on the album, and I was just like, hey, that could be something. And it could be their next, like, sucker. It could be the next one that actually picks off here. I could see Summer Baby, if it gets some radio play this summer, really getting a headway going for it.
Mhm.
And being their next single off the track. As long as they don't pick Hamptons, we're good. So I picked Summer Baby as my deep cut. So Morgan, what about you? What was an overlooked track that you think?
I'm gonna say Montana Sky. I just think like it's just a fun, like relaxing song. Like I picture like driving around with the windows down and the song playing. It's kind of got a different sound than what we heard on Happiness Begins.
Mm-hmm.
And I just really, really like that one. And I don't think that like a lot of these songs aren't going to get played on the radio, but like that's one that I just feel like it's different, but it's really good. And I'd like
Mhm.
more people to be able to hear it.
I understand. That's a good one. Brandon, what about you?
I picked Waffle House as my deep
course
cut
you did.
track. I did pick Waffle House. I think this song, I think a song like this is what a lot of our young generation needs to hear when it comes to maybe seeing their parents or family get into arguments. Hopefully things will get figured out. And in the end, it's all about love. The topic of this song was pretty deep. So I'm glad that the music and tempo and vibe musically that was going on kept it light and fun. We made it easier to listen to a track about that kind of subject. Super light and fluffy, just like a good old waffle. Actually, probably a pancake, but whatever. Waffles have
Waffle House's waffles are pretty fluffy. They're not super.
They're kind of thin.
Yeah, they're kind of thin.
Oh.
You ever been to Waffle House, Brandon?
A long time ago.
Oh, dude, you gotta go.
I know.
Every time we go on a road trip, we try to hit one.
Yeah.
And they're usually
We go
super
on
nice
Sundays.
people. Yeah, you go on Sundays? Okay.
Yeah.
So if we had one up here, we'd probably go out more often. We just started
True.
getting Chick-fil-A's up here like more often than not. So we're the whole
people complained when Chick-fil-A's weren't here, and then they complained that they're closed on Sundays. And it's like, well, you can't have it both.
Yeah.
Can't have it.
Yeah. I did see that Chick-fil-A's giving out free chicken sandwiches on Father's Day.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. That's funny joke,
Well,
Steve.
Oh, it's a Sunday. Took me a minute.
I just wanted to see Brandy with Chick-fil-A be like, come on, you
I was
told
like,
me.
I was right there with you, Morgan. I was like, oh, that's freaking sweet. And then I was like,
I know.
Wait a minute.
Wait a minute, this guy's got
Wait
me.
a minute. Yeah. All right. Steve, did you talk about your deep cut?
I did with Summer Baby.
Oh, yeah, that's right. And then Morgan, I was the last one, right?
Montana Sky,
Yeah.
you're the last
Okay.
one.
Yeah. All right. I'm losing it.
Way to
It's
keep
fine.
track there, Brandon.
It's late. I'm old. It is what it is.
9:13.
And it's late. I'm old.
Okay, I feel you.
Yeah. You're the old man. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
I am the old man. I've been up since 4 a.m. So
Yeah, I got nothing to sneeze at. Anyway.
Nope.
Except
So let's do some final thoughts here.
I was getting into it, Steve.
I don't want it.
Who's going first?
You.
Okay. I don't want to go first.
I'll
just
go
kidding.
first.
Okay.
Man. This is why Morgan comes back every 18 months. We're just
Mhm.
getting more and more
Just-
dysfunctional as we go.
She's just the mediator.
She's like, you two need to stop this.
I'm
Right.
just sitting back enjoying it.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's kind of what happens. I mean, it's what
for sure.
it's what everybody else does.
Right.
So so final thoughts here for me. The brothers came back with a vengeance and really delivered another good album. It's a little bit formulaic. So, but I can't fault them for that. Their sound has evolved, but the concepts from the early days are really still there. And it's really what people want, i.e. Morgan. They're giving their fans what they want while branching out a little bit. Their song topics or lyrics are getting deeper, and they're getting more actual real life experiences because they're all getting those real life experiences now. But the poppiness, the bubblegum of their tracks and the music is still there because that's kind of what you want to hear. I would love to see them add some more of that Joe DNC vibe and add a little bit more rock in there, just to get a little harder because they can all do it, maybe except for Kevin, but they can all do it and branch out just a little bit. But really, I'm okay with this because it's what they're good at. They stay in their lane, they do their thing, and they're doing it very, very well at a high level. I can't get wrong. I can't get mad at that. It isn't Harry's House from last year. It is. It's enjoyable. It's very nice. I gave it a 7.5 out of 10. I enjoyed myself listening to the whole thing. I've listened to it probably 3 or 4 times, which is more Jonas Brothers than I've listened to in the last year and a half. Thank you, Morgan.
Okay.
But I like their stuff. I do get a good kick out of it. I think it's fun for the most part. And then also I have to cringe a little bit sometimes too, but it works. So 7.5 for me. Brandon, let's you go next, and Morgan can round us out.
All right, sounds good. The album has a lot of great
The
beats.
record.
The record has a lot of great beats, musical rhythms that make for a fun, almost dance-like album overall. I found myself more often than not shaking my white self around the house as I'm listening to this one. I do think that between Happiness Begins and this one, I do think that they have grown individually and as a band. I think it's just gotten better. This is definitely one of those albums that can be played in front of kids on a summer day while enjoying and chilling outside. I am generally right there with you, Steve. I am giving this one an 8 out of 10. So, all right, Morgan, round us out.
You've been talking about it forever, so you got your time now. Just go.
Okay, well, I absolutely loved the Happiness Begins album. So I had like high expectations for this one, which kind of worried me a little bit because when you have high expectations, then sometimes you're let down. But I really, really, really like this one. I think that their sound is a little different than what we typically hear from them, but not to the point where, like you said, it's getting away from like their roots. um, I'm really excited. I'm actually going to see them on tour again in a couple months, and I'm really excited to hear some of this live. Um, I also think that they do I think that they do have a couple of their songs on this album that have that DNCE vibe too, like Summer Baby, I think really does. And I just overall I really, really like this one, and it exceeded my expectations. Like I thought that maybe we weren't going to get a better result than Happiness Begins because I thought it was so good, but I actually like this one better.
Okay.
So I wish I would have went back and listened and figured out what I had rated Happiness Begins because I can't remember.
You were like a 9.
What
It
really?
was, I don't know.
You might have been a
Because
9 or
you
10.
guys were surprised. You guys were surprised because I didn't rate it as high as you thought
Oh,
I was
yeah.
going to.
Yeah. Now
So
I'm
Maybe you went
curious.
like a 7.
Guys, go
Yeah.
check out that album from January of
You should have listened to
2022 and let us know.
yeah, I think I'm gonna give it a 9. I really,
Yeah.
really like it a
Yeah.
lot.
Okay.
And I've
I
been
mean, you
listening
can't-
to it like on repeat. So
Yeah, absolutely. So that's a lot of points out of 30, guys. I can't do math because again, it's late and I'm old. It is what it is.
24 and a half.
Huh?
24 and a half.
24 and a half
No,
out of 30. That's
25 and a half.
okay, 25 and a half. It's great. It's a great score. I wish those were grades that I got in school. I'm not gonna lie. Whatever, doesn't matter. Because I'm I mean, I'm not even gonna go there. It's been a long time since I graduated high school. I'll just put that out there.
Once again, I am older than both of you, so we got this.
That is true. So anyway, that is enough of me talking. Morgan, thanks for coming on the podcast. Before we wrap this up, if any of our fans want to find you on social media, where can they find you?
so they can find me on TikTok at Morgan Bellamy or Instagram. It's at Morgan.Bellamy with an underscore. So that's pretty much all I have. Instagram and TikTok.
I like it. Steve, where can our fans or Morgan's fans find us?
We're pretty much everywhere. We can find us on all major podcasting platforms. So all of the media platforms like Spotify, iHeart, Pandora, Amazon Music, Apple Music, all of those. You can also find us on TikTok. We are there separately and together as a podcast. Facebook, Instagram. We are on Twitter. We just don't post in there right now because we still don't trust Elon to leave it alone.
Exactly.
So
again, like we're saying, he's got the bird, and we want to flip him the bird. That's
100%.
what we're saying right
that
now.
That is 100% what's going on here. We still don't trust that man, and I don't ever think we will. But we are.
You can't trust a man who's whiter than me. That's what it comes down to.
And from Africa.
Yeah. Of all places.
Of all places. So, but we are on YouTube, and that's where we're kicking off a lot of what we're going here.
Yeah.
So if you are following us on YouTube, find us there. Subscribe.
I had to make sure my hair
out.
looked good tonight, so that way, because when it goes on YouTube,
cleaning it all up. That's why. That's why I wear a hat every time.
Yeah.
But so we are.
This is also not my real studio.
Who would have thought?
Right.
The girl with the pearl earring behind you.
Hey,
you're doing a thing. You're hitting the big bucks.
Yeah.
So, but find us on YouTube, subscribe there, help us out. We are posting content just about every day. Now we do post stuff on TikTok and on Facebook Reels and Instagram Reels or whatever those are called, Shorts, I think those are called, whatever they are.
The Reels.
Post stuff there as well.
Instagram Reels.
Of course they are, because Meta owns them too. But we post stuff there too, but all of the things we post everywhere get posted to YouTube, and some stuff only gets posted to YouTube. I slack sometimes and don't post stuff out everywhere else, so I just post it right to YouTube. So if you're following us there, you get content, everything we put out. We're putting out content every single day. So check us out there. Find Morgan on TikTok. She's always doing something fun. It just is. It's always funny. I don't follow it as often. I don't see my For You page as often as I used to, but they're still there. And you pop up and I'm like, hey, there's Morgan. What's going on? And I'm like, oh, okay. We're gonna scare somebody today. That's what we're gonna do. So and I just
scare people anymore, Steve. It's all wholesome content.
I saw old stuff. That's what I was. I haven't
had that before. It wasn't wholesome, but whatever.
Yeah, it's still wholesome. Ours was all that wholesome, but we're figuring it out.
Right.
I haven't.
It wasn't giving us a summer in the Hamptons vibe. Let's just put it that way.
No sand involved at all. No sand.
No sand involved.
No sand at all.
All right.
But way to go, Brandon.
It's
way to
late
bring
and
it there.
I'm old.
God. On that note, guys, this has been the Notes by Goats podcast. We talked about Jonas Brothers, the album, also the record. We're gonna call it both today. I am Steve.
I am Brandon.
And I'm Morgan.
And she is Morgan. And Brandon is. It's old and it's late. He's old and it's late.
Yeah. Bye, guys.
Notes my goats. Notes my goats. Notes my goats. Welcome back, everybody.